friends, good afternoon. I hope you all are doing good. Now, let us go ahead with the unit number 5, that is multimedia authoring and data representations. This is from subject multimedia communication technique, which is finally a subject for electronics and telecommunication engineering in Solapur University, Solapur. Now, before we could start with this, let me quickly revise that we have yet covered chapter number 1, chapter number 2, chapter number 3 and 4. The revision of all these chapters we have already undergone. Now, let us start with fresh from unit number 5. So, here we will be covering bit by bit. So, it won't be a revision kind of thing. Let us learn with this video what exactly multimedia authoring and data representation is going to offer to us. So let us quickly go through the contents of this syllabus, chapter. So we will start with introduction to multimedia, what exactly multimedia is. Then we'll compare the differences between the multimedia and hypermedia. Then one of the example of hypermedia is World Wide Web. Overview of multimedia software tools, graphic and image data representations, graphics image data types, popular file formats, color in image and video, in which we will be covering color science, color model in image, color models in video, fundamental concepts in audio and video. Now let us get started with the introduction to multimedia. Now you're almost like in the age of 20s, or 21 or 19, and several times you have heard the word called as multimedia. So what exactly the multimedia is? Now if we just divide the word itself, it is multi plus media. Now multimedia here in turns, there are multiple use of different kinds of medias or the mediums with which we can pass on the information. Now it could be anything like it is, or if we just wanted to form a definition for multimedia, we could form it like multimedia is a combination of text, graphics, sound, animation, video that are delivered interactively to the user by electronic or digitally manipulated means. Or it in a very shorter or a simple way is, so the way we pass on the information, or the mediums through which, the medias through which we pass on the information. Now it could be anything, like whenever we use a mobile application in which let us consider that there is an app, with the help of certain images it is giving certain information to the user. There is an app, with the help of certain audio system, it is giving information to the user. So any form of medium, any form of information that is used to pass the information to the user end, or at the end user, then it could be in the form of images, it could be animation, it could be sound, video, graphics, text, it could be anything. So multimedia basically is the combination of all these things, or two or more number of medias when used together on a common platform, that is referred as an multimedia. Let me give you a very simple example of multimedia communication, or with the help of multimedia, how enrichment in the information, how it has transformed. Now let us consider the fact that you are watching a cricket match which has already been telecasted in the early eras of 1980s. Let us consider the first World Cup that India won. Now in that World Cup, if you have watched certain matches, rather than that India Zimbabwe match, which has never been shooted, or which has never been telecasted, but every other match, let us consider World Cup final. like in the final when India met West Indies, and when that video was captured, or when the telecast of that complete match was taken care, it was the era when there used to be only one camera. So one over, the we have to see through the bowler side, and another over we have to see through the wicket keeper side or through the batsman's side. And that is the way we used to visualize the this television, or visualize the cricket matches on the television. Now if you compare the today's scenario, like let us consider that you are watching an IPL match, and if you see the transformation between the two, like in earlier era there used to be only a video which is associated with audio, like when commentary is running on, and same time certain video is been telecasted. That is a normal view of watching a cricket match, where with the help of only video signal associated with audio signal is been telecasted to the user. Now see the amount of information that has been passed through that particular cricket match. And now if you compare that with the current cricket matches that has been played around, like if as an example I have given you, let us consider you are watching an IPL match. Now the match itself, whenever it started, whenever a player enter or take his guard, at the same time the users tends to get all the information on the right on the left side corner, along with the photograph of that particular player, like how many matches he has played, how many innings he has played, how many runs he has scored, number of boundaries, number of sixes. At the same time there is an certain scenarios where if that player has played very good, or if the player is good but he has failed to score runs, and the way he get out in earlier matches, so that a little clip also been played. Like whenever you are watching a live video, certain video signal which is already been stored somewhere, and that signal is been telecasted over the live video. That is also possible, or that is what we see nowadays, with which more and more amount of information is passed on. Let us consider the match in 1983 final World Cup, when a certain player is playing for the first time, without, like, he has never gotten chance in earlier matches, but only commentator used to put some he is to give some information through on his words, and only the user who is listening on radio or on television set only used to get that particular information through the commentator, if he give that information. Otherwise there is no other way by which we could get that additional information. But now in today's day, when match has been played, whenever a player come for the batting, his entire history is shown in front of the viewers, and that is where the additional information is passed on. More and more information is dumped with the help of multimedia. That is not the only example. Let us consider some few more additional that features been added in cricket matches. Like there is a technology called as hotspot technology, where whether the ball has, where the ball has pitched, where it has hit, whether that where exactly it has hit, the hot spot get created, whether it has really nicked the edge of the bat or at the pad. Everything additional information with the help of whatever the image processing is there. With the help of that, both the signals been embedded together, and it is made available for the end user. Now this multimedia practice enhances the way user access the information, and that is where the real beauty of multimedia communications come into the picture. Okay, now cricket matches is not the only example. Even you can see the example of, say, certain news channels. Now earlier when news channel used to play, there used to be only a single news reader used to come in front of the camera, and he used to literally read the whatever the image, whatever the paper that has been given to him, and he used to simply read that particular passage or some highlights, and then the news used to get over. And I still remember in my early days, where whenever we used to watch the news, it was like a break for us, loo break for us, and the news hardly last for 10 to 15 minutes. And now if you see the scenario, there are hundreds of news channels which run for 24 by 7. Earlier, how the news been telecasted, hardly a single person used to read the news. And now if you see the way news been read, it is not only been read, there is a video, then there is a video within the video, there is an image, there is an animation, there is the text which is scrolling down, like this will be the match telecasted, or this is what has happened in the serial, what is the latest update that will be telecasted, all in all. And in between, some breaking news, some animation, all form of information is been dumped on the television set, and in news channel, and which make the user to be more attentive towards the news. And that is the reason why there are hundreds of news channels having huge amount of viewership.